That's Uncut View live at Uncut, and I'm your host, the guy that lifts barbell plates, eats T-bone steaks, and still has a demeanor that's sweeter than a chocolate cake, John Arhitis, and we're talking the latest and greatest in Hudson County news. Of course, a lot of people are wondering what the heck is going on at the federal level, and what I'm talking about is this potential federal government spending freeze, and of course a lot of nonprofit organizations are concerned about this across the country, New Jersey being no exception. And we got a take from U.S. Representative Rob Menendez, who of course represents us here in Hudson County, as well as part of Newark and all of Elizabeth. So we're going to hear what he had to say, and of course that's in a freeze right now, but that's only for a few days. So again, we'll dive into that. And on the more local front, of course, we were already talking about the Jersey City and Hoboken mayoral races. So we're going to chat about that. Of course, Governor Phil Murphy already made his endorsement in Jersey City. I'm pretty sure you know who that is, but we're going to unpack that as well. And of course, the hot topic that started over the weekend was U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Of course, most people know them as ICE, have been doing raids in North Jersey, including Newark, West New York, Union City, and a lot of people from Hudson County had a lot to say about that. So certainly we're going to clue you in on there. And today I'm fortunate to have my guest as Hoboken Councilwoman-at-Large, Jabbour, and she's a candidate for mayor. So all that and a whole lot more right after this word from our sponsors.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
That's Uncut View live at Uncut, John Arhitis. So yeah, let's talk about what's happening over at the White House, Washington, D.C. So we heard from Representative Menendez, and well, I mean, his statement really speaks for itself. So in the first days of his administration, President Trump has showed he is not interested in making life more affordable for Americans or improving the quality of life. Instead, his administration has kicked off an unprecedented assault on those in New Jersey and across our nation who need help the most. This is what he said in a statement late last night. It started by inflicting fear in diverse communities with warrantless raids, and now his administration is planning on freezing federal financial aid payments. His actions have put vulnerable Americans, working families, children, seniors, and veterans directly in the crosshairs. And also in his statement, he talked about how this could impact Medicare payments, Meals on Wheels, and community programs for veterans and seniors alike. So if you guys happen to also be readers of Politico, and other large publications like that, there was a memo from the Office of Management and Budget, and they said all federal agencies would be forced to suspend payments, with the exceptions being Social Security and Medicare. However, you may have noticed that the White House, through their comms page, they tweeted out yesterday that Medicaid had a portal outage, and Menendez responded in jest and he said, please be patient while we do damage control and fingers crossed no one dies in the process. So, he's really knuckling up on this one. And you guys have probably heard by now, U.S. District Judge Lauren Ali Khan issued a brief administration stay, which is blocking the federal funding freeze from taking effect any earlier than February 3rd at 5 p.m. So who knows what's going to happen after that, but he concluded by saying this freeze is in blatant violation of federal law and has previously been ruled to be unconstitutional. While I'm grateful that a federal judge has temporarily blocked this action, I hope the Trump administration reverses course on this disastrous plan. So speaking of the federal government, again, over the weekend, we heard just a ton of reactions about what's going on with ICE. I mean, just off the top of my head, we heard from Assemblywoman Jessica Ramirez and one of her, actually both of her opponents, Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala and Jersey City activist Katie Brett and Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day, two Jersey City Council candidates, and Joel Brooks and Jake Efros. And I could probably go on. State Senator and Union City Mayor Brian Stack, Assemblyman Gabe Rodriguez, and they all, decried these ICE raids and what ICE has been referring to as targeted enforcement actions. Now, as far as any legislation is concerned, as far as anything on the local level, the only thing we have so far is this from actually my councilman in Ward D, that's Youssef Saleh of Jersey City, and he put up a resolution specifically backing local immigrants. And what exactly does that mean? Well, we'll get to that. So he said to me over the phone, as the first generation son of immigrants born and raised in the Jersey City Heights, I sponsored this legislation in collaboration with the JC Immigrant Affairs Committee because Jersey City has some of the most households with immigration family members in the entire country. Supporting the Immigrant Trust Act, and that's in Trenton, and actually State Senator Brian Stack is one of the sponsors, will ensure immigrants continue to access necessary services, whether it is at a hospital, library, school, or simply calling the local police for emergency services. So, and he's also calling for Know Your Rights seminars. Of course, that's what a lot of municipalities are doing throughout the country to inform immigrants of their rights in the event that there is ICE activity in their neighborhood or on their block, near their homes, etc. Now, thus far, there hasn't been any targeted enforcement actions in Jersey City, but obviously they've been in neighboring communities, like I just mentioned. Of course, the one in Newark on Thursday got a ton of attention. I believe that one even made the New York Times. So certainly this is something that we're going to have to get used to in the coming weeks and months, and we're certainly going to keep you appraised of what's going on. And then on the more political level, there's a few endorsements that have been rolling around the past few days. So one that I'll mention from this week just came in on Monday. You had 7 Hudson County mayors endorse Hudson County Sheriff Frank Scileri for re-election. He's looking for a historic 6th term. And he got the backing of Hoboken Mayor Ravi Bala, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop, East Newark Mayor Dina Grillo, Harrison Mayor James Fife, North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco, Secaucus Mayor Michael Ganelli, and finally Guttenberg Mayor Wade Zitt. And as you guys know, there's 12 mayors in Hudson County, so that's more than half, which obviously was the point, as he's expected to face a primary challenge. A likely candidate is Bayonne Mayor Jimmy Davis, a retired police captain who did not sign on to the endorsement, but he's made no formal plans for June 10th just yet. So those 7 mayors said in a joint statement, as mayors representing the majority of Hudson County residents, we are proud to endorse Sheriff Frank Scileri in the June Democratic Party election. Sheriff Scileri is a dedicated, proven public servant and a strong leader who has undoubtedly made Hudson County safer during his time in office. So we got a lot going on for this primary, on top of the governor's race, and we're totally unclear where the HCDO is going to go there. Maybe nowhere. I mean, I have no idea at this stage, but we have Scileri running for re-election. He's expected to be challenged. We know what's going on in the 33rd Legislative District with Larry Weinstein going to run with Mayor Stephen Fulop. Larry Weinstein is running to unseat Julio Marenco on Mayor Stephen Fulop's ticket, and Gabe Rodriguez is the running mate of Weinstein, and we're expecting contested races in the 31st and the 32nd as well. We've talked about those candidates quite a bit. And, there's also the Guttenberg mayoral. Believe it or not, that's a partisan race in June as well. And Mayor Zitt, as I mentioned in the story, is also running on Mayor Fulop's ticket. So, a lot of interesting developments, and we're still only in January. Of course, February, very close by. With that, folks, we're about to go to a break. When I come back, I'm going to be sitting down with Hoboken Councilwoman-at-Large, Emily Jabbour, a candidate for mayor.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its 2 newest locations. Hoboken, and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Panapinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panapintodevelopment.com. Panapinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View live and Uncut. John Arhitis, as I mentioned a few moments ago. I'm joined today with Hoboken Councilwoman-at-Large, Jabbour, who's running for mayor. Councilwoman, thanks for coming in.
Of course, thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. So obviously you've served almost 2 full terms now as an at-large representative in the Miles Square City. We know Mayor Robbie Bala is running for the Assembly seat of the 32nd Legislative District, and you didn't waste much time in getting your hat in the ring. So, what made you decide that this was the path you wanted to take? Obviously, Hoboken is not for the weak of heart.
Sure. Well, I'm very proud to have served almost 2 full terms on the city council as a councilperson at large. I think I've been very energized by this work. It's been a real pleasure to get to know so many different aspects of our community, and I think my work record has led me in the direction of wanting to do more. And so the opportunity was coming forward for a possibility of standing up and saying I'd be interested in running for mayor, and I think that's a job that I would be good at. So I'm excited to put my hat in the ring.
All right. So when you're looking at the past roughly 8 years, when, you're looking at resolutions, ordinances, and community outreach, so on and so forth, what do you think that you've done well and you've proven that this is the right fit for you?
I think I have the experience and the energy for the job, because if you look anywhere on Facebook or social media, the person who's tagged the most in terms of getting things done is me. I've been very responsive to constituents. That's been very important to my work record. And generally, I just try and keep my head down and do that work. I think that's the most important thing, and that's really showed up for residents. And so I think that's really informed my understanding of how the community works and how we need to continue to serve our residents the best we can for Hoboken's future.
All right, point taken. And, obviously you're unfortunately well aware there's a lot of troll accounts in Hoboken on Facebook and Twitter and a little bit on Instagram too. And a lot of them have already said, like, hey, this is basically just going to be a Bala third term, and I hate Bala, like that guy ruined my life, whatever. And she voted yes on everything they put in front of her. So what do you say to these kind of criticisms?
Sure. Well, first of all, I don't pay much attention to that, because I think what's real is being out in the community. I take my daughter to school every morning. I'm at community meetings. I'm having my own community meetings. You'll find me in any aspect of the city being present and willing to engage, whether people agree with me or not. I'm ready for it. I think that's part of the job. You have to be willing to respond to criticisms, but I would rather do that with people face to face. And I'm always responsive, even in the face of criticism. So, there's going to be a lot of conversations about how the city moves forward. There will be multiple candidates. I'm going to put my best foot forward and talk about what I bring to the table, and we'll see how that goes.
All right. Now, when you're thinking about, on the legislative side, not just on, being out in the community, which I know you are quite often. I know you're doing the coffee and you mentioned the social media, but when you're talking about what you've done upon the dais, any particular things you're proud of and
Sure.
other things that you'd like to do in the interim?
Sure. Well, I think what's been interesting about my role is I've been able to be close to the administration to see some of the workings, but also being on the city council side, working with my colleagues to get things done. You can't get things done without 5 votes in the council. So you have to be willing to collaborate and work together. When I started on the council, I was in a 7-2 minority with Councilman Jim Doyle. So certainly I've been through the process of what it is to work across the aisle, so to speak. I'm very proud that we've been able to accomplish as a city everything under the Vision Zero initiative. There hasn't been a traffic fatality in Hoboken in 8 years. And that's by design, by improving our infrastructure and ensuring that we have safe streets. Moving forward, I think we're going to have to continue to look at that. Obviously, quality of life concerns are something that I hear most about. Going to community and public safety meetings, investing in our public safety infrastructure. We're going to have to continue to really double down in that to make sure that Hoboken is a safe community.
Okay. Now, when you're looking back, again, since you got elected and you've been sitting up there, when we're talking about initiatives from this administration, do you think there's anything that stands out to you that they could have done better or maybe they shouldn't have done at all?
I think at times that there's a focus on some of the back and forth instead of how we can collaborate to work together. I think there's opportunities about better coordination within City Hall, and I think that it takes somebody who's a really good communicator to get more involved and figure out how to bring people to the table to create a better work product for Hoboken.
And what do you think that could look like under your administration?
Sure. Well, I think most recently, one of the things, if you've been to any of the recent council meetings, there's been a fair amount of talk around some of the rodent issues that we're facing uptown. And I think what was uncovered is that there was some lack of coordination between the different departments involved. So you have the health department involved, you have zoning involved with respect to the parklets and how they inform some of the rodent issues. So it was clear that there's been some lack of coordination amongst those different departments in addressing this issue. And so I'm really, I've been happy to work with Councilwoman Fisher about how we can address this. That's her ward with her neighbors. And I think we've uncovered some really important places where that coordination could better serve our residents.
All right. And then talking about public outreach, this is a little nitty gritty, but people in the past have complained hey, Nixle's kind of just been used as a political arm by the mayor's office. It should really be more public service announcements. What do you think of that point of view?
Well, I think communication is really important. People need to understand how local government is working and what it does in terms of preparing residents when there are instances to be aware of unfolding events. So, for example, in December, there was an unfortunate incident with a shooting that had happened. I felt that it was something that should have been nixled out because I think that was something that people needed to be made aware of. And what happens if you're not using that proactively to let people know what's going on, people take to social media and then there's conflicting reports. So I think we do need to have a clear policy about how we use Nixle, and it was always intended to be an emergency response system. So we need to think about how to use that in the context of what's best for the community to make sure people feel like they're safe and they know what's going on.
Very good. Councilwoman, don't go anywhere. Folks, don't go anywhere either. We're just going to take a short break. We'll be right back.
Newport, the luxury waterfront community on the Hudson River, offers a quality of life you deserve in one of our many high-rise towers. With amenities such as the on-site Newport Path, light rail, Newport Town Square, 3 playgrounds, dog run, upscale restaurants, retail giants like Kohl's, JCPenney, Macy's, and Target. Morton Williams and Acme Supermarket are just outside your front door. A health and fitness center, skating rink, and medical facilities are also on site. Enjoy the New York skyline from our waterfront and various parks. Manhattan is just one pass stop away, or a quick ride through the Holland Tunnel. Nursery and private elementary schools all on site. 12-screen movie theater at the Newport Center Mall. Looking to visit? Stay at the Westin or Marriott Hotel. For more information, visit us at newportnj.com. Make lasting memories to cherish forever. It's incredible. It's you, Newport. Live like you want.
Consumer Carpets, 3408 Kennedy Boulevard in the Jersey City Heights, your one-stop store for residential and commercial floor treatments, carpeting, linoleum, tiles, laminates, hardwood floors, area rugs, remnants, all major brands, all in stock. Free estimates, same-day installation. Consumer Carpets, it's savings, selection, installation. Credit cards and debit cards accepted. Financing available. Consumer Carpets. Price to fit your budget. Installation to fit your schedule. On the net at consumercarpets.com. Consumer Carpets, Jersey City, 201-792-2712.
That's in County View, live on Uncut. Jabbour, and I'm still here with Hoboken Councilwoman-at-Large Jabbour, who is running for mayor. So obviously, those that were able to tune in, either during or after the fact, to that council meeting last week, the hot topic of conversation was the police chief's contract. Sure. And, this is one of the more passionate speeches I personally have seen from you. You were quite adamant about public safety and the police department, and you want to support them, especially in light of the Church Square Park incidents in late October. So, why did you think you had to take that firm stance here?
Sure. Chief Aguiar is an incredible professional to work with. I think that he has demonstrated leadership, not just for the residents, but also for the rank and file who are in his department. And I think the idea of his contract coming forward is an opportunity to be united in terms of having public safety's back, because obviously there are some challenges that we've been confronting in, to your point, the October events. There were a couple of unfortunate violent assaults in our community, and the police are responding to that, and they are making changes. And I really give Chief Aguiar a lot of credit because he responds to the public's feedback. He's present at every quarterly CAPS meeting that we hold so that people can have the opportunity to speak with him directly about their concerns. And he's available 24/7. I mean, I know that council members are not shy about reaching out when they have concerns, and he is always responsive.
All right, and then when there was that public safety meeting in November, it was kind of a mixed bag. Some people were really angry, some people were pretty happy, and some people were in between, as most meetings, as you know. And but the point I want to make is that a lot of people felt like there was a lot of inertia in the police department, and it wasn't necessarily it's needed more officer, needed more deployment, more walking tours. Again, there was opinions up and down the aisle, but you get what I'm saying, I believe. So then on top of that, like a lot of people felt like a contract that tops out at $330,000 more than Chicago, more than New York City was too much. Now it passed 7-1, so it wasn't a close vote by any stretch. But I mean, what do you think that people that say this is an exorbitant contract?
Listen, the most important thing is Chief Aguiar's support and his continuation as our chief. He's got the support of both of the presidents of the police unions, and it sends a strong message for us to be united behind supporting his contract. He went from being one of the lowest compensated to somewhere in the middle. So in terms of his relative compensation to other communities, it wasn't out of line in that sense. And we really do need to recognize that his job is 24/7. I mean, this is a person who is on call all the time. And I can't imagine how difficult that is for his family. And he is always the one to rise to the challenge. So I think, I'm very grateful for his leadership, and I'm excited to continue working with him.
All right, and one more thing on this topic. So obviously you recall one of your colleagues, First Ward Councilman Paul Presenzano, was quite unhappy with your speech, to put it mildly. And he went on I think we could say a bit of a rant, and you look kind of amused from what I could see on the camera. But tell me, what did you think during and after that fact?
Sure. Councilman Presenzano made an argument with respect to not wanting to move forward with Chief Aguiar's contract until the rank and file contracts were set. I just believe that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. Those meetings are happening actively. So to say that we can't do both of those things at the same time is just false to me. So when I presented my position in terms of why I wanted to support Chief Aguiar, it seems that made Councilman Presenzano have a certain reaction. But I stand by my words about Chief Aguiar. I think he's deserving of that contract. And I think it's unfortunate that it wasn't a unanimous vote.
All right, very good. Now, speaking on the political spectrum again, so more than likely it's going to be yourself, Councilwoman Fisher, Councilman Russo, and Councilman Ramos. I mean, how do you think you stack up to the competition? And for lack of a better term, why do you think you were the superior choice there?
Sure. I think I bring a different type of energy to the role of mayor, and I think I have the experience from 7 years on the council. I'm excited to have the conversation amongst a number of my council colleagues in terms of how they, have visions for Hoboken's future and to talk with voters about what that looks like. My campaign is going to be committed to being in the community, very grassroots oriented, and I'm excited to hear what people are concerned about. I have a vision for how things are going, but I also know that I want to be listening. I think an important aspect of a leader is that somebody who listens and takes some of your cues from where people are feeling. So I'm excited to have those conversations.
All right, very good. Now, I mentioned earlier at the other side of the studio that we have this assembly race happening in the background. Of course, that's going to happen first on June 10th. Obviously, we know Mayor Bala running, but another person expected to run out of Hoboken is the library director, Jenny Pooh. So have you given of course, we have Assemblywoman Ramirez, and of course, we also have Katie Brennan. So have you given any thought if you're going to get involved in this race in any way?
I think that field is still coming together. To your point, I think that there are additional candidates who may be coming forward in the days ahead. And so I'm excited to meet with all of them to talk more about it. Obviously, I've been working with Mayor Bala since 2017 when I first got involved in the city council. I know Assemblywoman Jess Ramirez very well, and she does an incredible job. I'm so grateful for her leadership and outreach. We were just on a panel together this weekend at the library. I think she does a great job. So I'm excited to have the conversation as that comes into scope.
Oh, and one last thing before you can do your closing in any way you feel fit. But one thing that I saw from Councilman Presenzano online was he said you claim to be in support of public safety, but you voted against the Test and Vest ordinance. So they go hand in hand, at least in his eyes they do. So, how would you reconcile that?
Sure. Well, the Test and Vest proposal, if you recall, actually at that council meeting, both the Director of Public Safety and Chief Aguiar mentioned that they had concerns about the enforceability of the ordinance. It's one thing to write an ordinance, but that's not where the job stops. And if you can't actually craft an ordinance or a law that actually can be implemented in a feasible way for the community, then what have you really accomplished? And so my exact words at that meeting were, I don't want to set ourselves up for failure. We pat ourselves on the back now and say that this is a win, but if it doesn't actually change anything in the environment and people don't see the difference that's been made, then what have we really accomplished? So I think that's something that needed more work. There was a working group that had been formed afterwards that I was part of. Unfortunately, it didn't come together in terms of providing amendments to that, but it's a conversation we need to continue to have because obviously that is a concern that still resides in the community with respect to quality of life, and I'm happy to have that conversation.
All right, anything you want to close on?
I'm just excited for the year ahead, starting January off on this foot in terms of launching the campaign. I'm really excited that within the first 2 weeks, I had over 100 residents donate towards my campaign. Again, it's going to be a very community-oriented grassroots effort, and I'm excited to hear from people and get to know them.
Great. Thank you very much for coming by.
Thanks for having me.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got one more segment, so don't go anywhere. I'll be right back.
Comprehensive healthcare is here, here, and here. RWJ Barnabas Health is healing, enhancing, and investing in Hudson County with its two newest locations, Hoboken and Exchange Place. Within walking distance or accessible by mass transit, our locations combine convenience with primary and specialty care, including cardiology, women's health, orthopedics, cancer care, and more. Let's be healthy together.
Panepinto Properties, Jersey City, shaping the workplace with state-of-the-art office spaces and addresses your company desires. Building residences that define your home environment, adjacent to all modes of transportation with on-site parking available. The right address, the right lease. Call 201-521-9000 or visit online at panepintodevelopment.com. Panepinto Properties, building Jersey City for everyone.
Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, Jersey City. Hudson County's only monument maker, serving all faiths and cemeteries. Design, studio, and launch inventory on site. Cemetery inscriptions and custom orders welcome. Burns Brothers Memorials, Monuments, and Markers, 787 Tunley Avenue, just south of Secaucus Road. Craftsmanship that will last for all eternity. Burns Brothers, Jersey City, Albert H. Hopper, North Arlington. Visit us on the net.
No one plans on heart disease, but everyone should have a plan for it. We help patients of all lifestyles and medical histories plan for healthy hearts. We offer convenient screenings without judgment, hundreds of preventive programs, and women's heart specialists. And we're the largest cardiac surgery program in New Jersey. Make plans for a healthy heart with RWJ Barnabas Health. Let's be healthy together.
Hudson County View live at Uncut. John Arhitis. So just a couple quick ones here before we go. So Governor Phil Murphy endorsed former Governor Jim McGreevey for Jersey City Mayor on Sunday. That was at the Monumental Baptist Church, of course, in Jersey City. And, not particularly shocking. I mean, the HCDO through Craig Guy and also State Senator Brian Stack have already endorsed McGreevey, and, they have good relationships with Murphy. And, of course, McGreevey, a former governor himself, also has his own relationship with the incumbent, so not at all shocking. But they got it out pretty early. I mean, we're still 10 months plus out. So Murphy said in a statement prior to the event that personal experience and a learned understanding of how government operates is absolutely essential to ensuring our institutions better serve the needs of New Jersey's working families. And I know that Jim McGreevey is committed to making municipal government work on behalf of the more than 290,000 people who call Jersey City home. So don't want to harp on this too much. I mean, it's been well covered, I believe. And I will just tell you, though, James Solomon, of course, of Ward E in Jersey City, also running for mayor, had a campaign manager, Stuart Thomas, put out a statement. And, of course, they're not impressed. Said it's clear that there's only one candidate for mayor who can change Jersey City for the better, and that's James Solomon. The machine will always take care of the machine, even when they've resigned for corruption, raised taxes on New Jersey working families, and hired Donald Trump's top strategists like Jim McGreevey. So this looks like it's going to heat up in the coming weeks and months. No surprise there. But speaking of hot races, we got one in the 33rd Legislative District. That's North Hudson and Secaucus. Larry Weinstein filed his D1 form with the New Jersey Election Law Enforcement Commission, which means he's officially signed on to run. And this is something we've heard about for at least 4 months, maybe even a little more. And basically, he has formal endorsements from Hudson County Executive Craig Guy, who's also the HCDO chair, State Senator Union City Mayor Brian Stack, West New York Mayor Albio Series, and Weehawken Mayor Richard Turner. And we also actually heard from commissioners at the county level, and that's Karen Don Rodriguez and Fanny Cedeno. Again, Weinstein will be challenging Assemblyman Julio Marenco, and of course that's a top ally of North Bergen Mayor Nick Sacco. So the war is officially on between Stack and Sacco again. So there's also an ELEC complaint that you guys might be interested in. Remember on Thursday, Jersey City Mayor Stephen Fulop, as part of his bid for governor, filed this complaint against Mikey Sherrill, of course, the congresswoman of the 11th district here in New Jersey. And there weren't any specifics, right? In the Sherrill campaign, and others were quick to point that out. It was a very broad, kind of vague complaint. Well, now they've come back with a lot of specifics, and they said that, for example, Sherrill paid $27,100 from a congressional account, that's an FEC account, Federal Elections Commission, for a gubernatorial event in Atlantic City. They also mentioned that 62.6% of the ad spend based on Google's Transparency dashboard was outside the 11th district. And, they've mentioned others. We're short on time here, but we heard from the Sherrill campaign for governor, and the campaign manager, Alex Ball, said that Stephen Fulop's new allegations at best demonstrate a lack of understanding of the law, and at worst try to make a mockery of campaign finance laws in a blatant attempt to mislead voters. So that's going to be a heck of a primary. The first gubernatorial debate is on Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call it a week. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.